All right. Good morning. Good Monday morning to everybody. I hope everybody's had a great weekend. It's the season. Everybody's running around trying to finish up their shopping and stuff. We're I think about 2 weeks out before Christmas comes, so it's going to be here real fast. So before I want to make sure that all our agents are aware of how important it is for this season to continue to work, because most agents during the season just shut down because it is a slow period, but it should be the period where you ramp up your marketing, your advertising of yourself and stuff. Just a quick, before I introduce Frank, just some quick statistics so everybody knows. About 40 to 60% of most agents in our general area get their business from either referrals or networking. Okay, so that means functions. Okay, it's meeting people, letting them know that you're in real estate. That's what networking is. So what better time to do that than during the holidays when you're amongst your family, your friends. So even at any function that you go to, if you can add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new people to your sphere of influence, you don't necessarily have to conduct it in a manner of asking for business right then and there, but you have their information for come January and February. When you start ramping up to do business in January and February, you've just added those people to your sphere of influence. So just keep in mind, 40 to 60% of most agents get their business from referrals or networking. And networking, for many of you, might think of like business functions, but it's not. Networking is just basically talking to people and advertising your services to anyone that you come across, which is family functions is the best way to do it and stuff. But if you don't speak and you don't interact and you don't network with people, they're not going to know that you're a real estate agent and stuff. So just keep that in mind. All right, Frank. Today's spotlight is Frank Delgadillo with CMG Financial. That's accurate, right, Frank?
Yes.
All right. Without further ado, Frank, take it over.
Wow. So thank you so much, Ruben. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, everybody. Good morning. How much time do I have?
It's 10 or 15 minutes. You're good with 15 minutes because I think Doug is in Hawaii this week, so we're good on time. So if you feel that you have pertinent information, go for it.
Okay. All right. Well, good. Hopefully I'll be as quick and efficient and happy-go-lucky with everybody. So, hey, it's happy Monday, everyone. It's December 11th, 2023. So if I were to look at Siri or whatever you may have, or Google or whatnot, and you can ask him how many more days until Christmas, which I'm going to do that right now live. Hey, Siri, how many more days until Christmas? It's 14 days until Christmas. I mean, that's pretty easy, right? So 14 days for you to at least have a decent kind of break, in about 21 days, 20 days for the end of 2023. That's a reality check, right? It's like, man, it's like, where did this whole year go by? Because 2019 was great. 2020 was even better. 2021, I mean, and that's despite, COVID and whatnot. You got to relax at home. You got to work from PJs and so forth. 2021 was kind of a little bit of a weird shift situation. 2020 just happened in 2023. Oh my God, can I really get through this? And the fact that you're still here, it's a great thing. Whether you're scraping on the floor, trying to get to work or whatnot, and trying to at least to survive and stay alive or whatnot, you're here. So let me first say thank you, and we're proud of each other, and we're here together as a team to do this, because it takes an army, and it takes just a good mindset just to get up and be here. So for the ones that are here on the screen, whether it's what's Angie, hi Angie, good morning, and Peter and Sandy and Mandy, and I have a guy by the name of it's Jeffrey. Is that Jeffrey? Well, I think it is, and you got Ruben over here. So thank you guys for being here. What I want to say, a couple things, So one, my name is Frank Delgadillo. I'm a mortgage lender. I've been around since 2000, so since the year 2000. So that's 23 years going on 2024. I started in the mortgage business not knowing this much, nothing about it. I thought mortgage was just something that you get a loan on for something. And that literally that's what it was. Started in as an admin assistant working at Wells Fargo when Wells Fargo just recently changed from Norwest Mortgage to Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo Bank bought Norwest Mortgage, created it. And I still remember when my first office in Upland had green carpet, green chairs, and green desks, because that was Norwest Mortgage's not colors. Moving on from there to now, been able and blessed to still work with a great team. I'm still working with the same boss that I had back then. And for 23 years, we became best friends. She became my comadre, which is my kid's godmother. Worked not only as a team, but as a family together. And when it comes down to it, family is what's most important. It's what builds a camaraderie. So for some of the agents that are here that actually are on this Zoom here, and whether new or old, for some of you that have been here for more than 3, 4, 5, 6 years, I think I've seen Alex, and Alex has been one of the older agents here. You got Marcy, and that's just to name a few. You got a lot of them that are here. The fact that you have a lot of veterans that are still there at Coldwell Banker, it speaks volumes. And for the new ones that have just come in, it's great to be able to synergize, because then you get that old school mindset with that new school technology and put them together. That's where Coldwell Banker is going to become a great company, and it's already becoming a great company more and more. So family is everything. What I want to kind of just talk a little bit about is going with what Ruben said about networking, and networking is key. Networking is what we're here to do. You know, if there's a book that I mentioned last week, it's called Fanatical Prospecting. Let me get the book right here right now, because this is what I keep on hearing every day on Audible, and it's called Fanatical Prospecting by Jeb Blount, Jeb Blount. If you get a chance, read it, listen to it on Audible. It's just a great book, because it's all about prospecting. It's not easy. It's hard. It's hard to prospect. It's hard to think, okay, well, who am I going to call? What am I going to say? What am I going to talk about? What should I talk about? You know, it's Monday. I'll wait till Tuesday. Tuesday comes around. Well, I'll just wait till Wednesday. That's when it gets better. Wednesday is hump day. Thursday's like, oh, we're almost to the weekend. Friday, forget it. And all of a sudden Saturday comes around and you spend a whole week that was just gone. But networking can be the most easiest, non-aggressive approach into just being yourself and speaking with people, not talking to people, speaking with. And that's a big difference. And knowing what to say and how to say it, why to say it, where to say it, and to who to say it to. So you got to know about those 5 things, because that is what creates sales. You're a real estate agent just as much as I'm a lender. We chose this business. We could have been an engineer. We could have been a scientist. We could have been a bus driver. We could have been a pancake maker. But we chose real estate, not because it's cool, not because it's fun. Well, maybe it is. Yeah. But we chose it because we love to do sales. How do you sell? You sell by speaking, asking great questions, staying quiet, waiting for the right answer. And networking is going to be your best approach at making connections. Asking those great questions is going to give you great answers and get you to the right point so that you can get something soon, whether it's a lease or a sale or a listing or a buyer that wants to buy a house, or maybe just someone's kid that says, hey, I don't want to buy something. Well, hey, by the way, well, that's a question. Who do you know that might just be interested in buying a home? Maybe 3 or 4 months from now. Hey, you know what? My kid's graduating. Something. You never know when it's going to come about. So we have to be able to be very open to the thought of networking. And if I could say just one thing, that book really, really just kind of gives you the bads and it gives you the goods and how to really break it down. So read that book, Fanatical Prospecting. I'll put it here in the chat later on, so that we can even discuss it. And if you guys want to do a mastermind group about it, I would love to. And so if someone's in here that wants to do it, put it in the chat and let us know. And if Ruben's okay with it, then maybe we could do a 5-6 mastermind group and just kind of say, hey, this is what we did. what did you do for this week? What are you gonna do for this week? And let's get it going. I love to be a part of your business. And this is where it's a little different than what every other lender may or may not do. It's just to be there for you. So networking is key. Networking is key, so that that's how we connect with each other. One thing that I've been able to do is call 5 people a day. Call 5 people a day. And if you call your 5 people, if you have past clients, whether a year ago or 20 years ago, put them in a database, put them in a spreadsheet, put them in any which way to create something out of it. Find out when they closed escrow. So that could be an anniversary. Find out whose kids they are. All that is a great networking. You already worked with them. If you don't like them, well, then that's a whole different story. If they don't like you, it's a whole different story. But if they at least have some kind of connection with you because they're in the same city as you or whatnot, just call them up. Because if you don't, guess what? Somebody else will. If you don't, someone from Keller Williams or EXP or Joe Schmo or John Arrow, are they still around? Whoever it is, they'll call them. And then you're going to be like, well, they called them, what's, they're such a disgrace that they're calling them. Guess what? They're just salespeople just like you, but you have to be able to connect with them. So networking is a great way to do it because that way, at least it's a very non-aggressive approach that gets you to know more about what they're doing. And just the way Ruben said it right now, that during this Christmas season, it's a great way. Hey, how's it going? How's the weather? What's going on? Hey, what are you doing next year? What are your goals? And that's, it's key. Another great way that you could talk to them right now about your past clients is tax time, because keep in mind, it's December 11th. December 10th just passed. That means that if they haven't paid their taxes, they're late. They're late. Then they're going to be paying a lot of fees. But hopefully they have. Call them up and just say, hey, by the way, did you pay your taxes? No? Okay, let's get you going. Hey, by the way, let's see your equity in your house. What's your value? Whatnot? If you get a movie not or whatnot. All those great things. You just got to ask those right questions because that's what our job is about. We're not scientists. We're not chemical engineers. We're not bus drivers. We're not pancake makers. We're salespersons. We're salespersons. We need to sell. Now, so going into, aside from that, and I love networking because that's the way we get to just connect. Yeah, it's scary. It's scary because, let's be honest, I mean, sometimes we think that the person that we're speaking with is a doctor. They're a doctor. I can't speak with them. I had that strong limited belief when I was young, and we're talking 23 years ago, 15 years ago, even almost 10 years ago, about 2013, 14, 15. And I remember when I was at Wells Fargo in Pasadena on Orange Grove in Colorado, guy came in to the office, big tall guy, like he looked like Prince Charming. He had the Goldilocks blondish hair, tall dude, with the jacket, with the suit. Pasadena guy comes in, sits down. Hey, I want to buy a home. Perfect. All right, sounds good. And he asked me, okay, well, what are the options? And when it comes to this story, it's a good story because of the fact that it really got me to open up and let my guard down, because as soon as I heard 2.5 million, I'm all about what? And he's like, yeah, I got some money. I want to be able to invest into it. I want to buy a home in Sierra Madre, myself and my wife. Perfect. 2.5 million, 20% down. Whenever someone hears 2.5 million as agents, 2%, 3%, 1%, 2.5 million is a lot of moolah. And that just really got me nervous. It got me scared. And I was like, wow. And I can still feel it to this day when he came down, he sat down with his leg crossed and just really relaxed. And I'm just trying to figure out how to ask him the questions. I still did the questions, the application and so forth. Hey, are you nervous? And I said, you know what? To be honest with you, yeah, I am. And he says, why? I said, well, because it's a high price. So then he said, what if I told you it was 250,000? And I said, well, it wouldn't be that nerve-wracking because it's only one less zero, right? And him and I are laughing. And it's like, yeah, that's right. So is it me? And I said, well, and then I said, I'll be honest with you, yeah, it's a little intimidating because I said, I kind of said it respectfully, tall guy, blonde hair, blue eyes, good looking gentleman comes in and comes straight to me and asked me to get a home loan. He didn't talk to any bankers or anything. And I figured, why me? And he says, why not you? And that is what really intrigued me when he said, why not you? So it made me think, yeah, why not me? And he said, look, I'm a chemical engineer. He worked at a company in Pasadena that did science work and a lot of chemical work and whatnot in different countries. And then when I found out that he was making good money, made six figures easily, up in the mid six figures, I never met anybody in that position. And then when he said, after I looked at him and I stereotypically looked at him, blonde hair, blue eyes, tall guy, he said a Spanish last name. And I'm like, wait a second, are you Latino? He's like, yeah, hablo muy español muy bien, and so forth. And he just started speaking like really good. It turned out that he was from Mexico City, from District Federal, so a DF. It's like what DC is to Mexico. Very well talented guy, very well spoken guy. And with all this, it made me feel my barrier just kind of went a little lower, because then I started thinking about that maybe it's a language thing, that once he spoke Spanish and I spoke Spanish, we had that better relationship with each other. At least I felt it. It made that barrier go down. And then he said, well, why not you? And I said, well, because I'm thinking that you might be able to speak with somebody else that can speak more your language. And it's like, well, I'd rather speak with you because the fact that you're not money hungry, you're humble, you're a little nervous, and someone else is going to want to trample over me and sell me all these different products. I don't want products. I just want a mortgage by someone that cares. That just made my day 10 times fold. It was amazing to think that someone that is buku bucks, in my opinion, buku bucks, allowed me the opportunity of doing it. So with that in mind, as then he introduced me, and he happened to know, I guess, the owner of the 49ers, the stadium or whatnot, introduced me to him, and I'm all, because of I'm a Niners fan, kind of. With that in mind, he just started introducing me to people. And it wasn't that I did anything with them, but the fact that sometimes you have to just kind of, go with the law of attraction. And as you start dealing with and working with some people, being nice to them, being kind, being open, being courageous, and asking the right questions, it got me to the right answers. At least I got to know a lot of other people and those type of businesses, that it made me feel better about what to do. And then the next one, which then law of attraction comes around, that I just started becoming more open with conversations. I then was able to meet a surgeon from Huntington Library or Huntington Hospital, another buku guy, buku bucks kind of guy, really down to earth guy. So all those little things made me feel that I had a lot of limited beliefs, what was in here, that made me stop asking questions out of here and made me not feel I was confident enough to do these things. Even to this day, at 49, I sometimes get jitters. I know I get jitters. So I know that if you guys are not wanting to call people, not wanting to, get in front of people and network with people, it's because you have jitters. You're human. You're human, just like Ruben, just like Peter, just like Mandy, just like Angie and Sandy and Laura and everybody else that's here. We all put our pants one leg at a time. And then sometimes we forget we have to put something else before we put our pants on, but that's part of the humanity, right? We're human. Just know that ask great questions, you'll get great answers. I tell my kids that. Ask great questions, you'll get great answers. And if not, just ask the question of, hey, I'm a real estate agent. I'm a lender. I'm looking for people that I can, be part of my goal, that I want to be able to do 40 transactions for 40 families next year. I don't know where I'm going to get them, but I'm hoping I can get them by asking you. Can I count on you to maybe at least refer me 2-3 people that you might know? Is that okay? And see, that question alone wasn't even a prospecting question that I'm asking you, David or Ann. It was just a thought that, hey, I'm putting it out there that I want to have a goal for 40 units, 40 families, 40 homes, 40 listings, whatever it is, or 20 or 30 or even 10. But just put that goal out there, because if you don't say it, it'll never happen. If you're doing vision boards, if you've done them already at this point, if you're even thinking about just creating something, or what are your plans for next year? Because guess what? 21 days from now, 2023 is gone. And hopefully whatever bad vibes we had before in the past and rates going up and being dependent on markets and so forth and lack of inventory and rates and inflation and all these things and gas prices and so forth, all that's going to be gone too. And if it's not, oh well, it's still going to still be there. It's not if things are hard or not. It's how much stronger we have to get to be able to earn the things that we want to have for ourselves and our family. So if you network, if you ask those right questions, and even if you just kind of set up an accountability with somebody, hey, can I just count on you for 2 people that you can refer me? Or maybe 10 people or 20 people. It's a really just kind of a soft way that you can just, just reach out to them and say, hey, by the way, do you know anybody? And it's not like you're reaching, not like you're begging. You're not begging. You're just trying to see if they'll help you. People are inclined to help other people. You'll notice it. And if you don't notice it, that's where you have people like Ruben and Peter that are willing to help you in your business. Because when they help you, they help themselves. Yeah, if I help you, I want to help myself as well. I want to get something in return. But then also like great people like Sandy and Angie that were here as referral partners and as partners, as business partners to help you with this. We don't get something in return right off the bat. We do it from our hearts so that then that service that we provide for you will then be able to, it's like the recompensa. It's we get compensated in return tenfold in the future by something else. And that's part of our job as well. But we love to do this. So if you network, ask great questions, even simple ones like that, you'll know that it goes far. To conclude, as I'm a mortgage lender, and I've been doing this for now 23 years, been blessed to have helped hundreds, and I think at this point I have to count my CRM to see it, but I think it's actually somewhere, I think like 900 homes that I've done the last 23 years, or 900 families. Most of them are refinances because when I first started, rates were at 7.625 with 2 points. And then once you heard 6.875 with 2 points, that was at Wells Fargo back in the days in the year 2000, 2001, like, oh my God, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. It was there. It was back then. Luckily for me, I didn't go through the channels of when rates went up. In the year 2020, or actually in the year 2000, rates were creeping down, and then they creeped down to the 5s in 2020, and then went to the 4s in 2008, 2009, and then stood around the 3s and so forth. So for the last, I'd say 13 years, everyone, including agents and lenders, have had a good ride. But we have to be able to go back to our old schoolers, to our people that have been around for 20, 30 years and 40 years and ask them, hey, how did you do it back then when we didn't have an iPhone, a Droid, a cell phone, when everything was coming through fax machines, when we had to have books back in the day for real estate, when you had to use Thomas guides to look to see where the next house was at, or big maps to be able to study those streets. Ask those people because they know how it's been. And I always look back to my elders to see, how it was. I remember, I'll say this, that I had a great mentor. This is at Security Pacific Bank. So if those of you that are old schoolers, Security Pacific Bank. There was a bank right by Sinclair Paint Brands, by Monterey Park, and by East LA College. And the guy was a great guy. He told me this, when I said, hey, I want to do loans. I want to get into the mortgage business. What do you think? What should I do? It's like, okay, well, that's great. He says, do loans that make sense. Do loans that make sense. When they make sense here, they'll make sense here. So if I can leave that for you guys, and I know I'm in the mortgage business, you're real estate, but help out people that on homes that make sense for them. Don't try and sell them that's a bigger home than what they can chew. And right now, because of inflation or whatnot, people can qualify for a whole lot more, but they want to be in this position because they want to leverage other things. Just be there from the point of heart. Lastly, to say, I'm almost there. Lastly, to say is that when it comes down to this, is out in any which way. Rates have been creeping down. They're about the high 6s, low 7s. I'll say this one thing. There's a program that we have called the CRA. It's a Community Redevelopment Act. That, based on census tract, can give you that lowest rate possible out there. Don't want to say it because if I say mid to high sixes, you're going to be like, oh my God, that's great. And we're talking real terms. Not for everybody, because it's not for every loan. It's not for every person. It's based on certain census tracts. And obviously with low inventory, we're a little bit limited on that. But if it can happen to fall in that region, your client can get something that could be a great opportunity and to get a great interest rate on a great home that then 2 years from now, a year from now, when rates go down even more, CMG has something called a rate rebound that we will offer a lender-free loan. So no lender fees, no appraisal, no credit report, no flood check, and $1,000 towards your third-party fees toward escrow and title. So that way we can help you as far as and retain your service, retain your business, retain your clientele relationship, but make you a happy person for now and for later. Did I do okay?
Yep, we're
Doing
good.
great.
Thank you, Frank.
Any questions? Put them on the chat.
Frank, are you a MLO, the designator,
Yes.
the mortgage lender, the originator? So
Yes.
So your company is the sponsor of the MLO?
And RMLS.
No, not MLS. MLO, the mortgage loans originator.
Yes. I know I have an MLO license. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah. License in California, Arizona, Nevada, and Texas.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Our bank can work with you if you are MLO designator.
What's my number?
But no, I said my bank can work with you.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Some days, maybe one of these days I'll introduce you to my loan officers.
Oh, wonderful. I mean, just a great to rapport and network with each other. That's
Yeah.
what it's all about. It's a small world, and we have to be here to help each other out. If we don't help each other out, then why are we here?
Right.
Yeah, I like your style. You're confident, you're knowledgeable, and you're working from the heart. So all you said today make very a lot of sense.
Oh, well, thank you, sir. Thank you. And you made my day. I do it for my family. I do it for my 3 girls, do it for my wife.
Okay.
I got 2 sisters. Dad passed away, no brothers. I do it for my mom. My mom's my rock.
Right
And
on.
for those of you that have been there on my Instagrams, on my personal Instagram, I do videos of my mom. She's 88 years old, and she's the one that helped me out.
Good. Right on.
Okay,
All right. Well, thank you, Frank. Very inspiring. Everything that you said is true. You just got to apply it to your business. Technically, what we're doing right now is we're networking. The affiliates that are on with us right now, they're prospecting. This is what they're supposed to do. They're not letting 2003 go without a bang, because what they do today is what they're gonna get out of in 2024 and stuff. Peter mentioned one word that I want to mention to everybody before I introduce the rest of the affiliates. Just bear with me really quick. There's one word that most agents, most producing and successful agents have, and that's confidence. You can deal with intimidation, and the new year is coming. So if you have a problem with intimidation or insecurity, maybe that's something that you want to put on your resolution for 2024. But confidence is a very powerful trait that you can acquire. You don't have to be born with it. You can acquire it. You can build on it and stuff. But if you're confident in yourself, people will see that, and people want to work with that. If you go to a doctor and the doctor's kind of like, oh, well, maybe, I don't know. I mean, is that going to be, do you feel confident working with him? He's going to probably, have surgery and stuff or something like that. But if he's very confident, then you're going to want to work with them and stuff. So keep that in mind and stuff. Another thing I wanted to mention is Frank mentioned 5 contacts per day. If you contact 5 people in your sphere of influence, just 5, how long is that going to take you, right? But not just calling and saying hi, engaging with them, letting them talk, converse. It's the perfect time to converse is during the holidays, right? But 5 per day, that's 25 Monday through Friday. Let's not even count the weekends, right? That's 100 a month. So if you do that alone, I guarantee you your business will flourish. You'll see the difference. Moving on. Sandy, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Good morning, Coldwell Banker George Realty. I am ready for the holidays. We got to end the year with purpose. Okay, Frank is right. Reach out to your people. Talk to your clients. This is a great way to get geared up so that 2024 is the best year. Okay, and use us. We're here. Use us. We have vast knowledge. We have resources. If you don't ask us, we can't help you. And if you do, we will. It is literally that simple. If you need help with door knocking materials, I'm your girl. You need a firm, talk to Angie. You got clients that need help, reach out to Frank. I mean, we've all got where we're experts in. Use us. It's that simple. We want to help you. So I dropped my info into chat already. If I don't see you next Monday, because I don't know if we're having a meeting, I hope everyone has a wonderful Christmas holiday. And I'm going to hit the ground running. If you see me this week out in the field, I will be dressed in Christmas gear because that's how I roll. Have a wonderful week. And I hope everyone has a wonderful end of the year. And next year is going to be fabulous.
Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you, Sandy.
Next on the American team, Angie.
Thanks, Ruben. Hi, Peter, Ruben, Angie Tang,
Hi.
American Title. Just wanted to tell you it's 3 more weeks. We've got to push through. I've been getting a ton of requests on farming. If you haven't checked your farm out, let me know. And as always, if you put it in Ignite RE, don't forget that it updates by itself. So if there is a change in ownership, somebody moves and your list is already uploaded into our farm list, it will update to show you the correct information. I think it's the most embarrassing thing when I get like spam mail, like not spam mail, but like realtors looking for me to sell their property and it's addressed to the previous owner. I think it's really embarrassing because it means that they're not on their game. It means that they're not getting their updated list from their title rep and their title rep is, I don't know, either not updating it for them or don't have the right information. So please let me know how I can help you. It's 3 weeks left. We've got to push through. We got to make our relationships, build them, keep them, send your holiday cards. Mine are coming out soon. You still have a little bit of time to do that. And if you need the labels, we can get them for you for free. So there is no excuse, like Ruben said, push through the 3 weeks and let's get it going because 2024 is just around the corner. And before you know it, we're going to have the same conversation because it's going to be 2025. So let's get the ball rolling. And we're here playing ball with you. We're going to be part of your team for next year to help support and add growth to your business. Thank you so much, Angie Tang, First American Title. Thank you.
Thanks, Angie.
Angie.
Anne, good morning, Anne. How are you?
Good morning. Hi, everyone. Thank you for letting me speak for a moment. So I just kind of want to piggyback on what Frank was saying. I totally agree with him. Just reaching out to people that's, in sales, that's the most important thing. I don't know if you guys know the statistics or the numbers game, but it's like for every 100 people that you touch, 10 people will be interested and 1 or 2 may say yes. So the key is always talking to people and having just something to talk about. Right now, today is December 11th. So, today is the last day to pay property tax. So what a great way, even right now, to pick up the call your clients and just remind them, hey, did you pay your property tax? Just to get some type of conversation up and going with them is just good. Just always having something to talk about. I just want to be quick, always contact us if you guys need net sheets for your listing appointments. And we do have our entire marketing package once you do get a listing. So please contact me. I know I do a lot of marketing, so I just wanted to let, the people in Arcadia know. One of my agents just listed a new property in Arcadia. It's on Fairview. The address is 549 Fairview. It's a condo. It's been listed for 2 days and they have it listed for $723,000. So if you guys have any buyers, take a look at that one. Hopefully you guys can get, show your buyer if you do have that. But have the great rest of this week. And I know your guys' Christmas event is this Friday. So super excited.
Thanks, Anne. And just as a reminder, don't forget that, if you have a listing, contact Anne. She has a listing package for you free of charge. So if you want help with your marketing and you have a nice listing, contact Anne, okay, for more information. All right, let's move on to the last of the American team, Brandon. Don't crash.
Good morning. I'm not. As you guys know, we are in the holiday season, so I am on my way to another holiday party.
Wow.
I first and foremost wanted to congratulate Nanette Ong. I don't know if she's on this, but if you guys didn't know, she was awarded Realtor of the Year for the West San Gabriel Valley Realtors. And so I just wanted to first congratulate her on that. She has done an amazing job, and I hope all of you congratulate her when you see her. And then the last thing I was going to just mention real quick is I've been getting a lot of questions about Fortress Fire. All of you know that it was added to the RPA. It was added before the December 15th typical addition to the RPA. But the Fortress Fire Report, as we've been talking multiple times over the last couple of weeks, months, if it is added into the RPA, it is not required. But you, as the seller's agent, if you're representing the seller's agent, you have to counter it out if you don't want to order that report. So a lot of agents don't realize what the report is. And so this may be something, if you get a contract back from from a buyer's agent that is putting an offer on a house, and say they put that Fortress Fire Report in the RPA and say, we want to order this. If it's a condo or if it's a commercial property and it's not in a high or very high severity zone, it doesn't make sense, right? Because who's responsible for trimming the trees in a condo, right? That's typically the HOA. Or a commercial property, it's not typically within the transaction. It doesn't make sense. So just look out for this in the RPAs, because I've gotten at least 2 or 3 calls a day on this so far. And again, this is something that we're going to work through together. But if you or your clients have questions, call me on this, because I know this is a confusing part of the RPA that they just added. And I want to wish everyone a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year. And I look forward to seeing you guys.
Thank you, Brandon.
Likewise, Brandon. Nice shade.
Thank you, Brandon. All right, well, I think that is the last of our affiliates. I believe so. If not, you can let me know now, but I think so. All right, moving on. So couple of birthday shout outs for this week. Georgina Guerrero, Tatiana Dang, Fazi Shabib, Carla Johnson, and Maria Elena. Happy birthday to all of you. Wishing you guys a happy birthday week. Classes for this week. Actually, the trainings for this week. Actually, there's no more Friday trainings for the remainder of the year, just so you know. This Friday, we're having, just as a reminder, we're having our Christmas buffet luncheon. It's for agents only, unfortunately, for our affiliates. So that's this Friday from 12 to 3 at Shiki Seafood Buffet. That's in Temple City. So with that, we're not going to have a training this Friday. The following 2 Fridays fall on the holiday weekend. So we're going to not have a training that week as well, those 2 weeks. So we'll resume training the first week of January. Okay. Just so everybody knows. Some other reminders, they're still going to be doing caravans for the boards for Arcadia and P4, the ones that we actually send out to our agents. But just keep in mind that they're going to be dwindling down. They're going to be limited. Not very much properties to show as we get closer to the holidays. But they're still out there. So if you have time, I fully recommend you guys to visit a couple, get familiar with the inventory and stuff. Holiday campaigning. This is very important. You're coming into a critical time right now where if you are choosing to send out a campaign, whether it be a letter or a postcard, a flyer, whatever you're going to be mailing out, if you're going to be mailing something out, you need to get that campaign set up and ready to be sent out ASAP, because otherwise they're not going to be getting that marketing material till after the holiday, whether it be Christmas or New Year's. Okay, so the whole reason for marketing is to have that there in ample time for them to have before the holiday and stuff. So if you're planning on doing that, you need to get on board. Okay, Lastly, we're almost there too, and I always reiterate this, but I'm gonna say it again. Business planning for 2024. I know it's 3 weeks it's still 3 weeks out, but you should have some sort of structure on your business plan of what you're gonna do and how you're gonna do it for 2024. Okay, I have a lot of examples. It could be a simple business plan or very tuned business plan, however you want to do it, but don't go into 2024 without a business plan. Okay. Moving on to Doug is not here with us, as I stated earlier. He's in Hawaii, so I hope he's having a good time. So I'm going to go straight into our Alhambra business and stuff. We have 2 new listings for the week. One is with Michelle Olson. Congratulations, Michelle. That's a residential property in Southgate for $715. Congratulations on that. And the second one is with Rosa Reyes. She has a property in El Monte at $725. Rosa, are you here with us today? Rosa? She was supposed to be on. Well, let's see if I give her some time to jump on. Anyhow.
I am.
Oh, there you are. You want to tell us a little bit about your listing in Almonte?
Well, this 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,255 square footage, and 5,500 is the lot. This is very interesting because I got this listing. I got the client through at the lunchtime with Denise. She asked me to do her the timing when she was going to lunch. So this gentleman called that he wants to list his property. And I asked for the address. And I asked him how much he wanted to the price. And he said, no, that's why I'm calling. So I got all his information. And I said, when can I see you? He said, well, I have medical appointments for a while. So I said, well, that was in October. So the whole thing with this has been follow up. And I asked him about the 6th of November. And he said, okay. I wrote to him. And he doesn't have cell phone. He doesn't have emails. So, but I wanted to connect with him and I didn't want it to bother him. So I wrote to him confirming, our conversation and the appointment. I called him, he didn't answer. And I didn't want to call him. So what happened was I called him the 6th of November and he said, I'm not ready. So, and he said, when do you want me to call? And he said, don't call me. I will call you. But I got the feeling that he really, really wants to sell. And I didn't call him. He called me. He called me. He said, Rosa, I'm ready. Come. And that was it. But it's been a lot of trust, I believe. The house was not good. There was a lot of paint peeling. And he put it, I thought that he put it high. And I asked him, it's too high. But he said, I want to put that. And the wife said, no. There are very mature people, 87 and 80. And the wife wanted to sell, right? But he wants 725. So, and I said, okay, are you willing to do some work? And he said, no. If you're gonna will, you pay. And the wife said no. So anyway, at the end is I hired someone to do some work. And I think that we are doing good and they don't want me. I went to the city, get the city. I already had the inspection report for the city of El Monte. And everything has been, I feel I trust them. And I do have the feeling that they trust me. And this is it. But I believe that everything was the follow-up. Didn't take him like, oh, this is another one. and I went a little bit farther. That's it, I can say. And we have two open house that were very good. We already have, I already have cash offer. So
That's good.
anyone, if you
Amazing.
want to go on and go and see it, there is a Supra.
Wow.
And thank you.
That's amazing, Rosa. Great work. You know, I applaud everything that you did. The reason why I love this success story, because Rosa is applying and implementing everything that we are teaching her to her business. And that's how she got this listing. That's how she's going to probably get more listings. You know, she sees the opportunity, right? Some
That's
some
right.
agents feel like floor time is a waste of time, whatever. I mean, if you're making calls and you're prospecting or doing whatever you're doing, why not just do it at the office for an hour, 2 or 3 hours, right? And seize that opportunity. You never know. And this is a perfect example of that, you know. So she seized the opportunity. She stayed consistent. That's another big name, consistency. She was determined. She wasn't pushy, but she was consistent and determined to service this client and stuff, you know. And the biggest one, like she just said, is follow through. Follow through. Because most agents, and let's just be honest here, most agents would have given up already. He's not going to sell, forget it. It's just a waste of time. You know, there's a reason why he initiated the call to Coldwell Banker, right? Rosa was
That's
on
right.
Rosa was on the receiving end, and she followed through. Okay, she put it on her agenda. Not having an email or a cell phone, those
I
are
put it in my agenda and I put it every day, putting the name
there you go.
and the property
But Rosa, not
and the
having
property
a cell,
address every day, every day. And it's the market is tough,
it is
but I have to move on and
right.
continue. I do what you're saying is true. I do mailing, I do calls, and I send cards all the time. And I call every day to my clients. Sometimes, you know, it's nothing happened, but I have to do it.
Right. No, that's great information, you know. It's you didn't let those obstacles get in your way, you know, so you went the extra mile and stuff, you know. So that's amazing. And now you're hosting open houses, right? And Rosa, what's the main reason for an open house for as an agent, as a listing agent?
Get clients.
To get clients, not to sell the
Yeah.
property, to get more listings.
That's
So
right.
now she's gonna market that property, right, to all the
That's right.
neighborhood. So
Door
you're not done
knocking,
yet
door
because
knocking, sending cards. The
Yep.
whole neighborhood came in. So
Yep.
I have a bunch of address to write and to visit.
leveraging that listing to get more listings. That's the name of the game, you know. And then where do you get your list for all your neighbors and your mailers? You have title here to do that.
Yes.
So
Wonderful
we
title.
have all the tools to do this. You just have to apply it. Okay.
Yeah.
Rosa, thank you. Congratulations. If anybody
you.
has a buyer, well, actually, I guess you already have an all cash offer. But if anybody is interested in that property in El Monte for 725, contact Rosa. Okay, congratulations, Rosa.
Thank you.
All right, moving on. We are running out of time. Sorry, Peter. We ran a little over schedule.
Yeah.
Hand it over to Peter for his weekly
All right,
update.
yeah, thank you, Roman. We have a very interesting meeting today. Anyway, good morning, Coldwell Banker George. I hope you had a nice weekend. And as you all know that the holidays upon us, but this, you know, usually this is a slow season during the holidays, but this is time to do prospecting and farming, okay? And most important of all, you should get your business plan ready for 2024. As Ruben said, you know, it is a map you need to know where you're going. So 2024 is going to be a good year. So you know, get ready for it and get business plan ready so that you won't have any surprises. Okay, over the weekend, I read a very interesting. It says that in California, 45% of the real estate agent in 2023 did not make enough commission to pay their rent. Can you believe that? I was shocked, I said, oh, no wonder, everybody was shaking their head and suffering. And everybody, the whole California is very slow in the real estate. But 2024 is going to be a lot better. It's predicting that the Fed will lower the interest rate, and the buyer will have more inventories for the sellers to list the properties, and there's a strong demand for buyers to buy real estate. So 2024 will be a very good year. So, but you have to get ready for it. Okay, don't have any surprises. That's why you need a good, well-planned business plan. Okay. Okay. With that, I would like to share what I'm going to share with you today. Is a new law regarding the security deposit. As you know, I have a lot of questions regarding the new law that came on. There was a couple weeks ago on the security deposit, and we used to be that for residential we can have 1 month security deposit and up to 2 months security deposit, and if it is a furnished apartment, it can be 3 months security deposit. But starting from July 1st, 2024, no more. You can only charge 1 month security deposit for residential. Okay, period. That's it. There's a little bit of exception when you have when you're a small landlord, which I'm going to talk about how you qualify to be a small landlord. But nevertheless, all the apartment units and in residential. Okay, I'm not talking about the commercial. I'm talking about residential. For all the rental units, that you can only charge 1 month's rent starting from July 1st, 2024, and there is no exception for furnished units. Even for furnished units, you're only limited to 1 month security deposit. And then, but if you already had the security deposit charged to the tenants prior to July 1st, 2024, you can still charge 1 month, 2 months, or even up to 3 months for furnished apartments. But after July 1st, no more. You can only charge 1 month rent for security deposit. Okay. Now, as I said, the small landlords are exempt from it. So, what is the definition of a small landlord? Well, a small landlord is defined as an owner who owns no more than 2 residential rental property, but there could be no more than 4 dwelling units altogether, which means that at maximum in order to qualify for a small landlord, you can only own 2 duplexes. So with a total 4 rental units, and the landlord has to be a natural person or an LLC in which all the members are natural persons. And the family trust will also be qualified as a small landlord. But if the tenant is a service member, military service member, it doesn't matter. You cannot charge more than 1 month rent for the security deposit. So the small landlord does not apply to the active military service members. Well, what's the definition of security deposit? Well, for residential security deposit, which has a wide definition, is defined as any payment fee, deposit, or charges, including those imposed as advance payment of rent. So so it covers even advance payment of rent, but it doesn't cover the application screening fees. But those application screening fees very small amounts, is only usually less than $30 to $50. So essentially, a security deposit for residential is just what you need to for the lease, and that includes any payments, fees, or deposit or charges. So you cannot say that, wow, okay, the advance fee doesn't count as a security deposit. If you charge it, you qualify as a security deposit. For commercial, is defined as any payment or deposit of for money for the primary function of which is to secure the performance of a rental agreement. So that's the definition is pretty wide, and as long as it's reasonable, it can serve as the security deposit for commercial. Now, again, this new security law doesn't apply to commercial units. It only applies for the residential. So what is the maximum amount of security that a landlord may require a tenant to pay? For the residential, well, as I said, it used to be like 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months. Now you can only charge 1 month's rent for the security deposit. And if you have the advanced rent, it doesn't qualify as advanced rent unless it is 6 months rent, at least 6 months rent. So in other words, you can only classify that as advanced rent if the amount is 6 months rent or more. So if it's only 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, or 5 months, it will not classify as advanced rent. It will still be classified as a security deposit. And as I said, after the July 1st, 2024, the security deposit cannot be more than 1 month's rent. So be very careful when you have an agreement with the tenant that the tenant want to pay the advance rent. The advance rent definition can only come when the aggregate amount is more than 6 months rent. Okay. But the landlord also can charge a non-refundable application screening fee for the actual out-of-pocket expenses for obtaining the information about the rental application. But then they have a cap too. The cap is about $30. So you cannot charge more than $30 for the screening of the applications. And if there is additional charges, it has to be in terms of a contract between the landlord and the tenant, and it has to be reasonable. You cannot force the tenants to sign an agreement that is not reasonable. Okay, and for the commercial, it has a wider definition. So it will be for the specific monetary amounts that has to be reasonable for the enforcement of the lease and for the default of the lease. So it can be more than 1 month's rent. It can be one month, 2 months, or 3 months. It depends on the contractual agreement between the landlord and the tenants. Now, for the special treatment for the active service members, effective, as you know that right now the landlord may demand only 1 month or 2 months for 1 month for unfurnished units and 2 months for the furnished units for the active members. But after July 1st, 2024, no more. It's only 1 month for either furnished or non-furnished members. But of course, the rule doesn't apply when the service member has a history of poor credit or causing damage to the rental property or furnishing. So you know, if those are the extra things that doesn't apply to the security deposit. Now, but what other fees can be charged in addition to the security deposit? Well, for the residential, the possible fees that you can charge is for the application screening fees, because you know, the definition of security deposit is pretty pervasive. In other words, it covers a lot of things. So but the application screening fees are exception. So the only fee that you can charge in turn, in addition to the 1 month free 1 month rent for the security deposit, is just the application screening fees, and usually is only $30 plus the CPI increase, so it's really nothing. For commercial, there is no maximum security deposit, but here has to be reasonable, and what is reasonable will be determined by the court. So, well, nevertheless, you know, you should not be, as a landlord, you should not be too aggressive in charging the security deposit, because right now, you know, they're looking at the security deposit pretty closely, and you know, if you are being unreasonable, the court is not going to side with you. Okay. Can the landlord contract with the tenant for non-refundable security deposit? For a residential, is definitely no. You cannot have a non-refundable security deposit clause in the lease. It has to be refundable for residential. But for commercial, maybe because the statute that it does not contain the same explicit provision in the civil code. So it all depends on the judge, and that court will decide whether that the security deposit is refundable or not by contractual agreement. Now, what can the security deposit use for? Well, for residential, is basically for default rent, and also for the damages that you've done to the properties. But not for wear and tear. So for wear and tear, it's not regarding as damages to the property. So the security deposit cannot be charged off for the wear and tear in the apartment. So in other words, if the tenant has been living in the apartment for 10 years, and you know, and for the painting is a wear and tear, and it's about the time where you have to repaint the apartment again, that you cannot use it to charge off in the security deposit. Okay. Now, and also there's some restriction of what landlord can do with the deposit during the term of the rental agreement. Now, where they can put it, whether it can be whether it should be put in the interest-bearing account or not, it's up to the tenant and the landlord. So, but that's as one exception, is that there's a case in 2005 that the case name is 250 LLC versus the Photo Point Corp, where the court ruled that the security deposit cannot be deducted for future rent. In other words, if you have commercial lease that has the terms that has not expired, in other words, you still own the rent for, you know, the future rent. The security deposit cannot use it to offset that future rent. Now, what about the security deposit? What is the best way to handle it? Now, if you are a property manager, I have to remind you that in order to be a property manager, to manage the people's other people's property, you have to be licensed. You have to be have at least a broker license in order to be a property manager. But the best way to do is to check the box where it says that the security deposit will be given to the landlord, and the landlord will handle it. Now, in that case, the landlord can you put the either put the deposit, the security deposit in the interest bearing account or not, depends on what they have the agreement with the tenants. But if you are the property manager managing for other people's property, you should put the security deposit money in your trust account. And usually the trust account cannot be commingled with the other accounts. Your transactional accounts, and also the account should be interest bearing. So if you're handling for your client, make sure that you dispose the security deposit properly, and making sure that the tenant understand where the security property is and whether the security deposit is drawing interest or not. Okay. Now, what about the requirement regarding the security deposit after the lease is over and prior to the tenant vacating the premises? Well, the law requires you to have a move-out inspection apply to the move-out inspection rights, which includes providing the notice of inspection rights, scheduling the inspection, providing 48 hours notice of inspection, conducting the inspection, and preparing for the inspection statement, and delivering the inspection statement, and providing the opportunity to correct. And then you have to check out whether whether it's clean enough for the purposes. Okay, those are the things that you have to do in order to be properly dispose the security deposit. Now, what are the time frames for the return of the security deposit? Now, for residential, you must return. You must have the statement of the security deposit disposition statement, and then refund the unused money within 21 days after the tenants vacates the property. And if you don't do that, you're going to be penalized. You have to pay the penalty for the commercial landlord. Excuse me. For commercial units, the landlord has 30 days to return the unused security deposit if the security deposit is for 1 month's rent. But if it's 2 months rent, you have to do it in 2 weeks. And if the deposit is used for property damage, the landlord has 30 days after the landlord received possession of the premises. And what is the penalty for not compliance with the governing security deposit? Well, for the residential, if you don't apply, if you are in violation, you are liable to 2 times the amount of the property out of the security deposit, in addition to the actual damages. So there's 2 things: where actual damages and the 2 times the amount of the security deposit. So this is a hefty penalty. So don't let it procrastinate over 21 days. You have to do that return the deposit within 21 days. And also the current and the former landlord are jointly and severally liable for the tenant for the payment of the security deposit to the tenants. For the commercial, the bad faith retention of the landlord, if you don't return the security deposit, you're subject to the actual damages, and also $200 to the amount plus the amount of the security deposit. Now, what about if you have dispute about the security deposit? Where can you go? You know, of course, you know, you can go sue each other in the superior court, and there's nothing to prevent you from doing that. But the more effective way is to go through small claims court, because small claims faster, much easier, and you don't need a lawyer. Okay, but there's a limit to that too. Now, if the person suing is a natural person, the dispute cannot be more than it used to be not more than $10,000, but beginning July 1st, 2024, the limit is raised to 12,500. And if the suing is the LLC or the corporation, it used to be $5,000, but now it's $6,250 beginning January 1st, 2024. For commercial, and you know, usually the deposit is more, and also the actual damages is more. So usually you go to superior court. And again, you know, if the damages is less than 12,500, you can go to the small claims court. Small claims court is very easy. You just go to the local courthouse, and then you file the small claims complaint, and then they will have a result for you within a month or so. And it's very easy. You don't need to pay attorney fees, and you can represent yourself. And actually, attorneys are not allowed in small claims court. So all right, so that's all I have to share. And if there's any question, please ask me now. I know the thing is, yeah, it's well over time. I'm sorry about that, but I think that's the important thing to know about the security deposit, because I have a lot of questions on that. Okay, any questions from anybody?
Yeah, Peter,
Yeah, Franco.
what about a pet deposit?
Pet deposit is still considered as a security deposit.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I didn't hear them
It's
say anything
anything
about pets.
Yeah, pet. Yeah, it's still considered as a security deposit.
Okay,
Or residential, okay?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
thank you.
Sure.
Any further questions for Peter? Nope. All right, well, that concludes our meeting. That concludes our meeting for this meeting. Sorry it went over a little bit, but there was a lot of good content. We will be having a meeting next Monday, so if you are in town around, please chime in, and we'll see you then, okay? All right,
All
everybody.
right. Have a
Have a
nice
good
week, guys. Bye-bye. Bye.